Listen, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but every once in a while I will meet somebody who is really good friends with both of their parents. I think that's a little weird. That is an either-or situation. You're only supposed to get one parent who you're really close to, who's super accepting and loving and supportive. And the other one is your dad. He's just a guy with a CPAP machine, doing his best. I think a lot of people might guess from looking at me that the only drug I abuse is melatonin. And they'd be right. I don't know that much about drugs, but a friend of mine told me the other day that he just read this study, and scientists proved that sugar is more addicting than cocaine. And I was like, that's super interesting. It's also probably the least helpful information that's ever been discovered. I don't really know what they want us to do with that data. There's not a lot of practical takeaways, unless they're recommending that we substitute sugar with cocaine. I think it's a bad idea. Imagine I show up to family dinner on Sunday. I'm like, hey everyone, I made my famous crack cookies. You guys are never going to guess the healthy ingredient swap that I made. I bet you can't even taste the difference. But you will feel it. I don't know. I can already hear the YouTube fitness influencers. They're on their channel. They're like, I love this new diet. Ever since I started eating cocaine instead of sugar, I have so much energy. This video is sponsored by the cartel. I feel like that would be like discovering that milk is more fattening than bleach. What are we doing here? I don't know. To be perfectly frank, I do not believe that sugar is more addicting than cocaine. I don't know if you guys know anybody with a drug problem, but I do. You're better off with sugar. I have never met anybody in my life whose parents had to kick them out of the house and were like, listen, we love you, but your sweet tooth is tearing this family apart. Sticking with Skittles, so. I'm a marketer, that's my day job. And because of that, I like to pay attention to ads that I see out in the wild. And I was driving the other day, I saw an ad, it said, a world without elephants is unimaginable. And I was like, that is so weird. Because it is super easy to imagine a world without elephants. I do it every day. Here's how you do it. Think of the world, take out the elephants. Okay, it's not that hard. I could do it right now if I just close my eyes. I did it. It's so natural, okay? And maybe I'm unusual in this, but elephants haven't really played a big role in my life. They haven't been a big influence on me. I think I'd be the same person, have the same values, everything, if the elephants weren't here. Basically, I have a hard time imagining a scenario one day where I'm like, well, maybe if the elephants were still here, I wouldn't be in this gang right now. not anti-elephant, okay? I'm just anti-elephant propaganda. I think flirting is a talent. I think it's a skill just like anything else. Some people are very good at it. Anytime, any place, they can turn on the charm. I am not one of those people. I went on a date with a guy a while back, and I was very nervous because I thought he was super cute. But it went really well until the end when he said, "So, how come you're not married yet?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm actually divorced." But it was kind of a weird thing to say because I am not divorced. But I was like, this will be fun and flirty. And he said, "Wow, I'm really sorry to hear that." And I was like, oh, he actually thinks I'm divorced. Probably because I told him that. I didn't really know where to go from there, so I said, "We had a kid together." That wasn't true. He's like, "Man, that's gotta be really tough." And I was like, okay, he still does not understand that I'm coming on to him. So I had to lay it on even thicker. I said, "Yeah, things didn't really work out with the baby either, so I donated it to Goodwill." At that point, my date realized I was kidding. He also realized why I was still single. So it came together in the end. Not my forte, for sure. I did see a statistic the other day on TikTok. I'll be so honest. It said that my chances of marrying a guy who is above 6 feet tall, who also makes over $100K a year, is like 2%. It's not good, okay? But I'm actually dating a guy right now who is 6'5". Thank you. And once he gets a job, I'm hoping to beat those odds. It's not looking good for the time being. And I don't need the guy that I'm dating to have deep pockets, but my boyfriend has those little tiny pockets that are like sewn shut. They're just for looks. Kind of like my boyfriend, so